Welcome everybody to the Township of Lopatcong Planning Board meeting for February 2021.
You need them to hold on. They're getting ready too. Hey, Gary.
Oh, yes.
Hang on. I think Bepson is having an issue here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's dropped out of the meeting for some reason on it.
Anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
They can hear you.
Oh.
You're just very quiet.
She can't hear you.
George, how you doing?
Beth, are you on?
Not yet, Gary.
Okay.
You have to unmute me or something.
Somebody needs to unmute her, she said.
I can hear you, Brian.
That would be up to
Yeah.
Lori.
Can
Now
you
we
hear
can-
me now?
We can hear you very well
Yes.
now.
Okay, very good.
Okay, I'll start over again. Welcome to the Township of Lopatcong Planning Board meeting for February 2021. At this time, I would like to invite you to join us in a silent prayer, followed immediately by the oath of allegiance to the flag of our country. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. At this time, I'm required to state that adequate notice of this meeting has been provided indicating the time and place of the meeting in accordance with Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of 1975 by advertising a notice in the Star Gazette and the Express Times and by posting a copy on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Beth, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, members Clymer,
Here.
Coyle,
Here.
Pryor,
Here.
Sampson,
Here.
Weeks,
Here.
Mayor Mengucci,
Here.
Vice Chairman Fishback, Chairman Van Vliet,
Here.
alternate Steinhardt. Okay, Gary.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to be proceeding to old business at this point. We have two resolutions that we are considering tonight to pass. They're both, the first resolution is an interim resolution of the Planning Board of the Township of Lopatcong, Warren County, New Jersey, determining the application of NFI Real Estate LLC for a final major site plan approval and variance relief concerning property located at 188 Strikers Road and designated as Block 99, Lot 3.1 and 6 to be incomplete. Mr. Bryce, would you kind of review that resolution?
Yeah, Chairman, the resolution that's before the board tonight is just capturing what the board reviewed last month during its hearing. It encapsulates what was presented to the board for review, the deficiencies that were noted by the board professionals, and it reflects that the board's determination that it was incomplete for those particular items. Importantly, it's as of that date, which I believe was the I want to say it was the 27th last month, when the board actually heard it. So that application still remains on the board's docket. It's just incomplete as of that particular date, which then was the 27th, Chairman.
Okay, I will, everyone on the board received a copy of that resolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you,
Yes.
do you, anyone have any questions on it or comments?
I do, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Pryor?
Yeah, Jim, I have two questions for you. Are these interim resolutions because of the motion that the plaintiffs filed? In other words, we have restraints on us from,
No, these are not that interim resolution, and there's only one interim resolution.
okay?
That resolution has nothing to do with what's going on in court. That's simply a resolution that is memorializing the determination as of a date specific, simply because the time of application rule may become very relevant into the future, whether, when, if the applications are complete. So that's why it's not customarily done. But given that there is a potential zone change that has been that's somewhat in flux, it's important, I think, for the board to memorialize the history. And that's why there is an interim resolution as to completeness, which normally, frankly, is not done. But given the sensitivity of timing with the zoning, I think that it's important at this point.
I have one other, Jim. I guess in the first resolution, about halfway down, it says, whereas the applicant has indicated that the following items are not applicable. In the second one, we use the word proffered. I'm wondering if determined is the correct word and whether we should be consistent. I was thinking of opined, but I'll go with whatever you think is correct. Just my 2 cents.
I don't think that it has a substantive or material effect on the ordinance. I think that in fairness, a lot of those items that were marked as inapplicable probably are inapplicable on both applications. I don't think that that's a stretch by any.
All right, I'll go with your opinion then, whatever.
Are there any other questions or for our attorney? If not, I'll call for a motion to approve the resolution.
We doing one at a time, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah, I was gonna do one at a time, just so it's on the record.
All right, I'll make a motion on the first one.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Beth, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Members Clymer,
Yes.
Coyle,
yes,
Pryor,
Yes,
Sampson,
Yes.
Weeks,
Yes.
Mayor Mengucci,
Yes.
Chairman Van Vliet.
Yes. Okay, the second resolution, this is a resolution of the planning board of the Township of Lopatcong, Warren County, New Jersey, determining the application of Bridge Development Partners, LLC, for preliminary major site plan approval and variance relief concerning property located at 80 Strikers Road and designated as Block 99, Lot 6, to be incomplete and denying the application without prejudice for lack of jurisdiction. Again, Mr. Price, would you review that for us, please?
Certainly, that particular resolution is also meant to not only encapsulate a completeness determination that was made by the board at the last hearing, but also to resolve the issue regarding jurisdiction. If the board does recall, both the board planner and the board engineer looked and examined the plans that were submitted, and the FAR, as determined by our board professionals, were in excess of what's permitted in the zone ordinance. You'll recall some discussion about that during the last hearing. And I think that the board indicated it agreed that it does not have the jurisdiction to grant relief from the FAR because that's reserved to the zoning board of adjustment. And therefore, jurisdiction is not proper before the planning board based upon the FAR. So just as a technicality, more so than anything else under the municipal land use law, it constitutes a denial without prejudice just for lack of jurisdiction.
Thank you. Does the board, any members have questions or comments on this resolution? Hearing none, I will call for a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make that motion.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Second.
Roll call, Beth, please.
Yes, members Clymer,
Yes.
Coyle,
Yes.
Fryer,
Yes.
Sampson,
Yes.
Weeks,
Yes.
Mayor Mengucci,
Yes.
Chairman Van Vliet.
Yes. Thank you very much. That's all of the old business we have, and basically all the business we had before the board this evening. At this point, I'll call for public comment. Is there anyone out there, or do we have any hands raised? Hearing none. Before we adjourn the meeting, I just want to tell everybody that we're going to have an executive session after we close this meeting, and I would ask the public to be removed, or I have a note here from our webmaster indicating that, what did I do with it? Anyway, that to remove any of our visitors, the public, before we get into the executive session. So that all being stated, if the board members and our professionals will stay online, I'll call for a motion to adjourn.
Actually, Chairman, this is how that should go. It should be a motion to go into an executive session.
Okay,
And then once the executive session is concluded, you bring a motion to go back into public. Once you're back into public, then you can adjourn the meeting.
okay, well, I'll call for
But
a
Mr.
motion.
Peck's raising his hand.
Yes, Mr. Peck.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Will the board be taking any action after the executive session?
No,
No
we'll take
action.
there'll be no actions after the executive session.
Okay. Thank you very much.
But we will be coming back out into public
Into the public session, so you
to
can
to
rejoin.
adjourn, just so you know. So you're aware.
Yeah, how do we know how to come back in?
I think that maybe the webmaster has the ability to put people who are not part of the board into a separate room.
That'd be great.
Is our webmaster on?
Actually, I'm going to text her when we're going into executive.
Well, you can text her now,
Okay.
because what she should do is put people, the non-board members, non-professionals into a separate room.
I'll let you know when she responds to me.
That's fine.
Beth, I have a note on an email Lori sent me and said that her son Nick will be running this. She has a freeholder board meeting tonight.
Yeah, and then she did text me and she said to tell her when we're ready to go in exec.
Okay,
Yeah, she acknowledged him and then told me to do that.
Well, I guess what we're wondering is if there's going to be any substantive discussion after. You know, I understand when you come out of executive, you have to reopen the public to adjourn the meeting. If that's all that's going to happen, then we don't need to, I think, you know, belabor the point. But if there's going to be some sort of substantive discussion, we do have an interest in the topics that are being discussed in executive, so we would like to hear that. But if there's no reason to stick around, you know.
Mr. Peck, the only reason why we're going into executive as far as, and it was my request, is just to inform the board as to the status of the litigation. We're a named defendant in one of them. The board just has to know that it's out there. There's really going to be no substantive discussion. I'm not handling the litigation. It's really just kind of telling the board what's going on. And then we're going to come out. I can assure you that there will be no substantive discussion or action that I anticipate to occur either during or after the executive session. But by all means, I don't, if there's anybody else on the public, I don't want them to feel as if they can't stay and then see the board come out and actually adjourn. Because that's their right under the Open Public Meetings Act. So, you know, I can, as an officer of the court, tell you that, no, we're not going to take any formal action. There's not going to be any action or substantive discussion regarding any application actually during the executive session or after.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate you're being forthright. Thanks.
Not a problem.
Beth, did you get in touch with Lori?
No, she's not answering me, so I'm just gonna move away and I'm gonna call her on her phone.
You know, Chairman, it's really not that critical that we have the executive session. There's nothing that the board needs to do at this point in time. It's just to the satisfaction of the board members to be informed of the litigation. I'll leave it to you.
Do you feel comfortable with just you giving us the information and what we need to know about the lawsuit? We're going to take no actions on anything or anyway. So do you want to just continue the meeting and you can inform us of what's going on?
No, it would be inappropriate for me to do that in an open session. I don't think that the municipal attorneys would like me to do it that way.
Okay.
So, but again, there's nothing critical as far as timing is concerned with that deals with the board, anything of that nature. So I don't want to unnecessarily burden the board by waiting to have to go into an executive session. It's really more of propriety just to inform the board as to what's going on, how it's going on, who's doing what.
Okay, well, I think we should go into an executive session. Give the board members, if somebody's on that's not supposed to be there, I don't think there'd be too much damage done that way. So at this point, I'll ask for a motion to go into executive session.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
I'll make
All
that
right, I
motion.
got Lori on the phone and she's going to get a hold of the person that's hosting and tell them we're ready.
Okay,
So just another minute, Gary. Should we take a motion then to hold the executive session while we're still?
yes, I believe the motion went out there and somebody made the motion. May I say, who made the motion?
I did, Robert Sampson.
Okay,
Thank
and then who seconded it?
I'll second.